Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Steelers and Giants on a rainy Sunday. No wind, that's the good news, but light rain falls, and so the turnovers may be a factor. Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Enberg, and fresh from the Cincinnati Hospital for Communicable Diseases, Bob Truppy. The big story in New York this week after the Giants start an unexpected 3 straight wins. Now they've lost 3 in a row, and of course the focus is on the quarterback, Dave Brown. The headlines all saying, well, Brown, is he in danger with only 6 starts of losing that position as he has replaced Phil Simms this year?
Yeah, Dick, I think the key thing you just said is this is Dave Brown's 7th start. Now, Dan Reeves, as a head coach, knows how to handle quarterbacks. After you lose 3 straight, there is finger pointing. There is a certain amount of separation. I think Dan Reeves' message to Dave Brown was, son, you're held to the same expectations as everybody else on this team. That's not something out of the ordinary for a team that's lost 3 straight. I frankly think this story is a lot bigger outside the football team than inside, Dick.
It's an interesting matchup of quarterbacks in that both starters are from nearby here in New Jersey. One from Westfield, the other from Madison. Neil O'Donnell grew up dreaming that he would play for the Giants, and David Brown's dream has come true. O'Donnell will have a new man to hand off to, at least as a starter.
It's Bam Morris with Barry Foster hurt. The Pittsburgh Steelers need a good running game. It doesn't necessarily have to be Barry Foster, but in Bam Morris, they believe he's a bigger, faster, stronger version of Barry Foster. Bam Morris' only problem, this is his rookie season. This is his first start.
Second youngest coach in the league, Bill Cowher, 37. Only David Schuler, Jr., and Dan Reeves, now 50 in his second season. He's had only 2 losing years as a head coach in 13, and he sits at 3-3. Brad Deluiso will kick it off. Steelers won the toss, and the All-Pro Rod Woodson waits at the Pittsburgh goal line. Through the drizzle, a spinner to the 1. Woodson has a crack. And caught from the side at the 28-yard line just as it appeared he might break away. Corey Raymond made the tackle. Here come the Steelers protecting Neil O'Donnell, Jackson Love, the Pro Bowler Dawson, Kalis, and Searcy. O'Donnell has John L. Williamson, excellent receiver out of the backfield, former Seahawk, the rookie Bam Morris from Texas Tech, Andre Hastings, Charles Johnson, their number 1 selection from Colorado are the wideouts, Eric Green, the huge tight end, Yancey Thigpen in the Pittsburgh sub. And off to 33 Morris, and the Giants greeting party for the rookie. Spearheaded by Marcus Buckley, who's starting for Corey Miller.
Dick, first snap, watch 55. They blitz against the run. Buckley right in there in the backfield. Nobody had a shot at him. There is a lot of ways to stop the running game, and blitzing the running game is a good idea.
Buckley, a 3rd-round pick from Texas A&M, starting for the injured Corey Miller. He'll have his hands full. He lines up against that big tight end, Eric Green. Off play action and wide open, but missing his target. Craig Heath from Lenore-Rhine was open, but O'Donnell threw it to the far sidelines away from him. The defense for the Giants, Hamilton, Fox, the veteran Howard, and Strahan. Linebacking core adjusted. Michael Brooks, who had played inside, now outside. Carlton Bailey is back as a starter. Marcus Buckley in for the injured Corey Miller. Sparks, Raymond, Jarvis Williams, the ex-Dolphin Jesse Campbell, the back 4. And in the nickel, Armstead comes in at backer. A speedy rookie Rudolph and the veteran Booty. 3rd and 13. Good protection. Finally underneath, short yardage to Thigpen to the 30. And the Steelers are 3 and out. No, they say drop the ball as he went down. So 3 and out for Pittsburgh. Giants have been very tough all year. In fact, they've got quite a run denying the opposition on their first possession.
Good pass protection here by the Steelers offensive line. I think he was down by contact. That is no fumble.
Mark Royals, who is outstanding in dropping the ball inside the opponent's 20-yard line. David Megan has another punt return touchdown. He has 5 in his career. Tying Emlyn Tunnell, the great Giant. Good high kick to Meggett's side. Late fair catch at the 32-yard line. Appeared he had some running room. 44-yard punt, no return. And here is David Brown of the Giants. Third-year man from Duke. He was a #1 pick supplemental 2 years ago. Jumbo Elliott, Roberts, Williams, Smith, and Riesenberg, 2 veterans at tackle. Dave Brown has Rodney Hampton, the top rusher back. Kenyon Rashid is the blocker. Sherrard and Callaway the wideouts, and Howard Cross, a good tight end. He may see a lot of throws today. Aaron Pierce comes in the 2 tight end, and Rodney Hampton is out, and Dave Meggett starts. That's a little twist that we did not expect. We wanted to know where Meggett was. He starts, and the first pass is complete to Mike Sherrard over the middle. Torn down by Rod Woodson, a short gain, around 5. And here's Hampton with Rashid.
Dick, a lot of what the Giants do is dictated by who is in there at running back. Generally, when Meggett's in the game, it's pass. When Rodney Hampton's in the game, it's almost exclusively run. That little changeup, I think, could help the New York Giants if Hampton catches the ball and if Meggett runs it a little more.
So that graphic, Hampton has moved ahead of Alex Webster in the #2 spot rushing in Giant history. 2nd and 6. Hampton caught in the backfield, twisted down for a loss. Kevin Green, the former Ram who has played well as a Steeler, makes the stop. Williams, Steed, and Henry in the 3-4 alignment of Pittsburgh's defense. Linebackers Kevin Green, Levon Kirkland, Chad Brown, and Pro Bowler Greg Lloyd. Woodson and Figures at the corners. Lake and Perry at safety. It's a hard-hitting unit. Seals, McKyer, and Bell come in the Pittsburgh dime. And the dime in here on 3rd down and 9. Brown from the shotgun to Marshall, and he's into Pittsburgh territory to the 37.
What a throw.
Arthur Marshall, who played for Dan Reeves in Denver, his 8th catch of the year. That was for a big 30 yards.
And he's also got Rod Woodson in man-to-man coverage. Now, Woodson is considered one of the all-time great man-to-man coverage cornerbacks. Brown put it right on the money. Marshall makes the catch like Woodson's not even standing there. And I'm telling you, that is a big play because this Pittsburgh defense can make you look foolish with some of the things that they do with their blitzes and coverages.
Big gain, 30 yards on 3rd and 9 to the 37 of the Steelers. And now Hampton breaks out of a tackle and uses the power of his 230 pounds to earn about 4. Chad Brown and Deion Figures on the tackle.
If you watch Rodney Hampton, he has great vision when he gets to the line of scrimmage. You sense a lot of running backs when they fire to the line of scrimmage and expect contact. They almost close their eyes. Hampton can kind of get to the line of scrimmage, wait for a block to take place, bounce off, and pick up 4, 5, 6 extra yards.
Gets 4 on 1st down when it appeared they had him for a loss. Hampton to the 29-yard line. Levon Kirkland from Clemson made the stop.
And Dick, when we were talking to the Pittsburgh Steelers last evening, Greg Lloyd told us, what we've done in these games is we've just not gotten started right. We've allowed the other team to get in the game, stay in the game. Offensively, we've not started well. We need to play 60 minutes in the opening of this game. 3 downs and out offense, defense allowing the Giants to go right down the field.
Greg Lloyd with that big face mask. Actually, it's lighter than the normal, even though it looks much heavier. Bad snap. Brown wasn't looking for it. Meggett picks it up, and Kevin Green drops him back at the Giant 45-yard line. Oh, my. A minus 26 yards on the play.
Brian Williams is the center, and Dick, you're right. Dave Brown was looking away when the ball was snapped. There's Brian Williams. He replaced Bart Oates, but look at Dave Brown. See, he's looking around. It makes me wonder if maybe someone on the defense didn't go hut, ball snap.
Left left-footed punter Mike Horan, another ex-Bronco. He just does get it away. Cornell Lake was in on top of him, and the ball out of bounds around the Pittsburgh 25-yard line. Fans are grumbling early here at Giant Stadium. Timeout, no score. Here's that bad snap that took the Giants from the Pittsburgh 29 all the way back into their own territory.
You see, the center doesn't look back at the quarterback. Now let's hear it with sound. See if you hear a snap count. It looked like Dave Brown put his hands up like, don't snap it. It was not like he was going to receive the ball, but he was either audibling a play or identifying pass protection. But now the offensive line coach, there's the running back coach, George Sepsic, they're trying to work out exactly what the problem was so it doesn't happen again. But that's an embarrassment. That's an embarrassment.
So the Steelers get their second possession at the 25-yard line, and we mentioned the Giants have been very stubborn on the opening drive of the opposition, and in fact it's now 29 consecutive games that the opponents have been unable to score a touchdown on their first possession. Dan Reeves still wears the shirt and tie. He's a dinosaur. Influenced by the great Tom Landry in Dallas. O'Donnell to John L. Williams. And Williams, who's one of the all-time receivers out of the backfield, has his 23rd catch of the year. He leads Pittsburgh, and that's 495 for a career third all-time behind Roger Craig and Marcus Allen.
Against this Giant defense, the way they do coverage, the tight end and the running backs should be busy. They give you the middle of the field. They give you the short outside. So Green, along with John L. Williams, should have a lot of receptions today.
Green to the right. Hastings and now Johnson in motion are the wide receivers. And Van Morris met in the hole sharply by Marcus Buckley. At the 30, it'll be 3rd and 5.
This defense last year was with Lawrence Taylor. No question it was a 34 defense with Lawrence Taylor almost playing a defensive end. They make the decision in March to go to the 4-3 defense. And actually the defensive linemen of the Giants like it a lot. It's a little less work for them.
O'Donnell splits the tight end Green away to the right. Johnson to his right. Oops. And it's Green who charges before the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty against the Steelers.
But you know, he's allowed to move.
Not to make contact.
But
ball start, number 86 on the offense prior to the snap.
Yeah,
that's a 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
The biggest tight end in captivity. If he goes across the line of scrimmage, he can get back. But when the contact is initiated, then it's a legal procedure.
Green, who played at Liberty, Lynchburg, Virginia, Jerry Falwell's Callies, for Coach Sam Rutigliano, former NFL head coach. So 3rd and 10. O'Donnell. And tried to find Green, well covered. Jesse Campbell was shadowing the big tight end.
Giants doing a good job. Pittsburgh not being able to run.
So on comes Mark Royals. Rookie Thomas Lewis from Indiana, the number 1 Giant pick, and Dave Mega drift back to the 30. Beautiful high spiral. Mega. No fair catch this time at the 31. 35. To the 40. Good return to the 41-yard line. Timeout. No score. 8:10 left in the opening quarter. As Brad Williams, his dad was a great quarterback at Notre Dame. Dr. Bob Williams, he took a few snaps in his career, and Brian Williams didn't quite find his quarterback on a shotgun snap, but it was painless. Giants hold and now have it at the 41. Hampton. And with that short gain, he moves over 4,000 yards rushing. Only the second, or actually the 3rd Giant to do so. I had him passing Alex Webster. He's got some work to do before he gets past Alex Morris with over 5,200, and Alex in his great career 4,600 yards, and now the third Giant. Hampton with 4,000.
Or was he upset when you said he was 5'11", huh?
He was upset with me twice yesterday. I moved farther away from the table. Brown fumbles. Back to the 25. Picked up for a moment by the Steelers. And finally the Giants get it at the 12-yard line. Brian Williams able to recover for New York, and perhaps the Steelers a little too greedy, looking for a touchdown, and in the process were kicking it toward the Giant goal but unable to recover. In the meantime, Lance Smith, caught as he was trying to block for Brown, number 61, is injured.
The pocket begins to collapse, and Dave Brown he can't sense what's going on, but you're right, these Steelers are trying to pick the ball up and score. Brian Williams keeps the ball in the Giants' possession, and he's saying throw the ball, get rid of the ball, or something to that effect is what he's saying.
So you got David Brown nailed from the blind side by a Steeler pass rush. It can be vicious. In the meantime, Smith, starting right guard, picked up from Arizona as an unrestricted free agent, is down at the 34. The Giants still have the ball. That's the good news. The bad news, they're at the 12-yard line where it's 3rd down and 39. Well, what's the play call here, Mr. Trumpy?
Well, they had Rodney Hampton, and you're talking about the next play? I want no part of that. The last play, they had Rodney Hampton and Dave Meggett in the game both at the same time. They tried to get Meggett out of the backfield, and it looked to me like Dave Brown was trying to go a little farther downfield. Here's Meggett in motion. He comes out here. Here's Rodney Hampton. The pressure comes from here from Lloyd on the outside, but I still haven't picked up who made the initial contact on Dave Brown. You see Meggett at the top. He's there, but he's waiting for the square end, and then it just kind of collapses on him. One of the inside people of the Pittsburgh defensive line.
Meanwhile, Lance Smith helped off a right knee, apparently, or ankle. Well, 2 plays in this opening quarter, big losses, recorded as fumbles. 26 yards on the bad snap and 32 on that last play. So minus 58 yards on 2 fumbles for the Giants with 7 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
And he's in the shotgun again. Nobody there.
And he finally throws it away, and the only eligible man was not even close to the ball. He threw it at the feet of a couple of linemen, but he was rolling outside the pocket and got it just over the line of scrimmage, apparently.
Well, this is not the kind of start that Dan Reeves envisioned for this team. I don't know that it could have started any worse. I mean, at least they haven't turned the ball over. That's the only plus of this first quarter.
Moran will deliver the ball from his own goal line. Rod Woodson back at midfield. Woodson comes up and fair catches at the Pittsburgh 47-yard line. Timeout with 6:36 remaining in this first period. No score. Greg Lloyd talking to the coaches and confirming, yes, I was the man who knocked the ball away from Dave Brown. He has forced 19 fumbles in the last 3.5 years. You talk about a big play linebacker.
Called Little LT in college.
Pittsburgh in a scoreless first quarter. Gives it to Van Morris. Finds a hole. Bam, it goes. He fumbles, and it's recovered by Keith Hamilton of the Giants.
Boy, he got nailed, too.
Morris hit. Hamilton had it when it was free. Let's see as they rip off the other bodies. Yes, indeed, Giants ball.
One of the defensive backs, after Van Morris was slowed and turned sideways, really laid a hit on him. There's the initial hit. It's 26 who makes the contact.
Jarvis Williams.
Jarvis Williams jars the ball loose. Now, this is the worst thing that could happen for a rookie running back replacing Barry Foster in a game where it's important for him to have confidence and run the ball. His first start, he coughs it up, and Bill Cowher goes right to him. Get your head in the game, son.
So, first quarter plagued with errors on both sides, and there's another free play for Brown. Goes for Callaway. What a catch! A Willie Mays job at the 10-yard line. It counts, 44 yards. Callaway, the former Steeler.
On his former teammate, Rod Woodson. I mean, Woodson has been picked on this season, but both of them look back. This is an unbelievable catch by Callaway. Wow, that's two great catches we've seen by these Giant receivers. Yeah, Dave Brown says, yeah.
First down outside the Steeler 11. Hampton caught in the backfield. Great penetration from Gerald Williams, number 98, the G-Man, 288-pounder from Auburn.
Well, this always is a game of turnovers, but William Morris in his first start turning that ball over. I mean, frankly, nothing could happen worse for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had 21 carries last week for 82 yards against Cincinnati and performed well. Man, he's got to have a big game from here on out.
3-yard loss on first down. Hampton back to 3,999. Brown out of the backfield to Rashid. Kenyon Rashid, who rarely touches the ball. Tackled at the 5 by Rod Woodson. Rashid's only 5th catch of the season.
Again, this is the fullback out of the backfield trying to come up with something just a little bit new. Hampton sitting in the tailback. Rashid does slip right by. The Steelers were in a zone. We've seen Rod Woodson involved in a lot of tackles here, haven't we?
Boy, that was a strong-handed tackle to be able to grab him by the pants and pull him down. Rashid is 235. Third down, a short 3. Offside Pittsburgh. Incomplete. Tipped at the line of scrimmage. It appeared that Greg Lloyd, trying to guess the snap count, had jumped offside.
That'll give him a first down, too, Dick.
Well, it'll be close. Half the distance. He'll take it about the 2.5.
You may be right. Am I looking at the wrong side? Yeah, it probably will not be a first down. You're right.
Bernie Kukar in the white hat today.
Offside on the defense, number 95. That's half the distance to the goal. We're going to repeat third down.
Well, it'll be third down and a very short yard for young Dave Brown, who, despite all the difficulties of this quarter, is 4 for 5 and 89 yards. Defense allowing opponents to score 15 of 16 in tight. Brown's going to call time. Just under 5 minutes left in this first quarter. The Giants threaten to break the scoreless tie. Back at rainy Giants Stadium, more misty. Ball at the 2-yard line after the Greg Lloyd penalty, so it's third, less than a yard. And the New York Giants, despite a couple of big fumbles, there's no score, and they're a couple yards away from the lead. Fake to Hampton. Brown. Incomplete. Howard Cross wide open. Went through his hands, hit his chest, had a chance on the bobble. And so Dan Reeves figuring, hey, we lost 3 in a row. I'm not going to gamble down here. Let's go for the easy field goal. Greg Lloyd did recover in time to make sure he didn't get it on the 3rd, 4th chance.
He does slip a little bit, but I don't know that Dave Brown, unless it's delivered overnight, hand-delivered, could get it any better. And Morse said, yeah, no catch. Whew.
And here's David Treadwell for the extra point style field goal. And He kisses it through from 19 yards. Fans didn't like it.
What a missed opportunity. Howard Cross already has
14
two touchdown receptions. It was beautifully done. A nice play action fake by Dave Brown.
And Brown told us he was hoping that they put more of that in, more play action stuff.
Went back to look at the Seattle film against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it worked. He's got to fake the block here. Gets by the defensive end. See Greg Lloyd his way out of alignment.
That was a heck of a play by Lloyd. He actually took 2 men. He took Rashid out of the backfield, then saw the pass and still was quick enough, despite the back cross, not only had one chance, but had about 3 chances to pull it in before Lloyd arrived, but was there to make sure.
Yeah. But still, I mean, come on.
Those are the ones that haunt you.
The closest guy to Howard Cross there, frankly, was the tuba player. You got to get the ball in your hands and keep it in your hands in the end zone, especially in a 3-game losing streak.
Brad Dalwiso, the long-range kicker for the Giants, to Rod Woodson. Woodson will turn 30 next year, said this is my last year returning kicks. Getting too old. And second thought. 20-yard line for Pittsburgh. Steelers haven't done much offensively. More than a number is the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, number 14, Neil O'Donnell. Could drive less than an hour from his Madison High School here to see the Giants play, and did many times. There's his high school notes. He and, well, you all remember Linda Doherty, don't you? He wore number 16 for the Madison High.
Poor Linda.
You never know what those high school yearbooks will bring out. O'Donnell. Now that'll make Linda happy as Harry Green grabs it and has the first Steeler first down at the 31-yard line. Williams and Campbell made the tackle. Yeah, here, just for those of you living out there in Chico, California, that may see, there's Manhattan Island. You go across the Hudson to East Rutherford, where the stadium is located, and Madison and Westfield, although they didn't play each other, are fairly closely connected. In fact, the Giants train their summer campus in Madison at Fairleigh Dickinson College University. Van Morris making sure that he has a good grab of the pumpkin out to the 34-yard line.
You know, the thing about O'Donnell, he's one of 9 kids. He's got 5 brothers who work on Wall Street. And he's the baby of the family. When we asked him what his nickname was, he said Soup. You know, you think Campbell Soup? No. Super Baby.
He was the last one.
He was the last one. Dad called him Super Baby.
On to the University of Maryland, where he followed Boomer Esiason and finished second to Boomer's passing records with the Terrapins. Play action. Didn't fool the Giants. Incomplete. Jonathan Hayes, the former Kansas City Chiefs tight end, was the intended receiver. Just as well he didn't catch it. It would have been a loss.
Well, Michael Brooks didn't buy anything. When the Steelers have 2 tight ends, Brooks goes to the line of scrimmage. O'Donnell turns around. Oops! Michael Brooks right in his face. Very lucky to get that ball off.
A play where you hope the play action will influence that linebacker and he'll be someplace else. Brooks, he too a former Denver Bronco. 3rd and 7. Gun down the middle, incomplete. Eric Green felt he was mishandled. Jarvis Williams was there. And another short possession for the Steelers.
And Dick, the problem for the Steelers here is they're not threatening the line of scrimmage with the run. And in not threatening the line of scrimmage with the run, there's little that the Steelers can do against this double zone of the New York Giants.
That was Mike Strahan, second-year defensive end from Texas Southern, who was applying pressure on O'Donnell. Bad snap, good job by Royals to field it. Meggett looking at the on-rushing Steelers, and he gambles and gets a couple of yards to the 25. 42-yard punt, and officially 1 yard on the return. Dave Brown comes on, and In these political times, you have to give equal time. So let's go to the Westfield Weather Vane yearbook. Let it out, they say. That's the theme. There's young Brown, handsome and like a sled dog. If you're not the lead dog, the view never changes. That's right.
He's the lead dog here.
The left-hander, everything he does except throw a football. Rodney Hampton finding some daylight. And a first down out to the 36. 11 yards for Hampton. You said he was mad at me a couple of times. One, when I said, well, you're 5'11" as it is in the program. He says, I'm 6'1".
Yes.
He stood up to prove it.
And he did not waste a moment. This last play, good pull here, blocked down by the New York Giants. This very active Pittsburgh defense is good in pursuit, but if you can block down, seal them, and then pull out, you got room up through the middle.
Fake to Hampton. And the ball complete. It goes to Chris Callaway again, about an 8-yard pickup. Back to Hampton. The other time that his eyes got very big and stared at me, I said, you haven't fumbled all year. Is there a secret to how you really protect the football?
Don't say that.
He said, no. He said, I remember there was an announcer last year that tried that on me, and I fumbled in that game. I'm still looking for it. And he seemed pretty serious.
Yeah, well, you did change the subject quickly. I admire you for that.
Second, about a yard and a half. Hampton first down. And more to the Steeler 47-yard line. Jeff Scanina. Purdue tackle made the stop. 23 yards now in this quarter for Hampton.
Boy, he floats nicely. Watch as he approaches the defensive line of scrimmage. Just skips a little bit, moves a little bit. Excellent job by the offensive line. Watch the dancing. To the right a little. To the left a little. He sets up blocks, sees everybody well, makes Carnell Lake 37 miss. For a big guy, really very elegant on his feet. Play action.
Wide open. Mike Sherrod at the 27.
And Dick again in front of Rod Woodson. To my recollection in this first quarter, every reception has been in front, around, or over Rod Woodson.
What's a beautifully thrown ball.
And good play action fake. Woodson turns to the outside. Receiver goes to the inside. Well, Woodson has been busy.
Leading 3-0. Final minute first quarter. Another first down for Brown and the Giants. To Hampton, caught in the backfield by an ankle and down for a loss of a yard. Joel Steed, who played at Colorado, one of 5 ex-Buffaloes on the Steeler roster, nails Hampton for a loss. Well, a quarter in which Dave Brown has answered some of his critics. 6 for 8, 119 yards. The Giants stopped at the Steeler 2, had to settle for the short field goal. Let's see if Brown should let the clock run, and apparently he's going to do just that. End of the first quarter at Giants Stadium. The men in blue lead the Steelers 3-0. Welcome back. Second quarter, Giants Stadium. Giants threatening to add to their 3-0 lead. Let's go behind the stats for a moment for the New York Giants.
You can see that in this 94 season, they've scored a lot of points in the first half, and it's a good thing because in the second half, they've gone to sleep. So this is an important quarter for the New York Giants.
91 points first half, 30 points second half to go 3-3. Steelers might have been offside. No offside. Cross is open. First down inside the 10. Brown going back to the tight end who dropped the touchdown pass. 20 yards on that play.
And that was a tougher catch than the one in the end zone. Good release, gets inside the linebacker. Brown, a big kid, throws the ball very tall, up over his head. Hard for anybody to really knock the ball down. So Howard Cross, if there is a certain redemption here, he should be a primary receiver in the end zone, make him feel a lot better.
First and goal for the Giants. Hit in the backfield by Gerald Williams. Dion figures up from a corner, and Kevin Green helping out.
Well, they blew that play up. Tried to run the tight end wham. That is, the tight end coming into the formation and blocking on the nose tackle, and Gerald Williams with a G having no part of it.
Played 4 years with Bo Jackson at Auburn. From the 8-yard line. Underneath to Sherrard. Gets near the 3 before he's wrapped up by Chad Brown, another former Colorado star.
Boy, has this kid gone through a career. Broke his leg, both bones in his leg back in 1986. And the next year he broke it again. And last year he had a dislocated and fractured hip. Keeps coming back. Still a quality receiver in the NFL. Says that playing on AstroTurf hurts his hip, but it's the kind of hurt he likes. Loves playing the game.
3rd and goal from the 3. Quarterback draw. Brown fumbles. And the Steelers recover in the end zone. That'll be a touchback.
There's been no signal yet. I have not seen anyone of the officials signal. Yeah, not a
Kevin Green recovered the ball. Now, they say he's recovered it just outside the end zone as he fell in, and so the ball does not come to the 20. The Steelers are going to start at the 1-foot line.
This was a quarterback draw all the way. 94 Chet. Oh, his knee was down.
Well down. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. You know, there used to be a day when the NFL had their system where they could...
Hush your mouth, lad. Hush your mouth.
It was called upon further review. The Giants might still have that football.
Oh, you're playing to the New York audience again. I know what you're doing. 12:53 left in this first half.
As the last play unfolded, Dave Brown's knees are down there. Ball still in his grasp. Now watch Rod Woodson strip the ball away. Should be Giants ball. It took a long time for the officials to decide exactly what the situation was. They just showed it on the big board here at Giant Stadium. And
from the 1-yard line then. O'Donnell dumps it out to John L. Williams. And Williams gives him some breathing room and a first down. 13-yard gain. 3-0 Giants here. Let's check elsewhere. Greg?
All right, Dick, in Cleveland, the Bengals looking for their first win of the season. A Lewis Oliver interception led to this. David Klingler to Tim McGee at 11 yards and a touchdown. The 10-3 7-point lead for the Bengals matches their largest of the season. They're in the second quarter, Dick.
Well, we were talking with the Steelers, and they were very impressed by the Bengals, especially the Bengal defense.
that's right, they were.
They said they're going to win some games this year.
Pittsburgh still has to play them once this year.
They struggled with that 14-10 win last week. First down, O'Donnell. Van Morris out to the 26-yard line. A gain of 7. I'd like to go back just for a moment and talk about the fumble by Brown. And there was another side to that issue, and the reason why they didn't blow the whistle when the knees were down, I think. I mean, if you're an official. Brown is about to lurch forward for a touchdown there. That's what's going to happen. I think the officials, had he fallen forward, would have given the touchdown.
You may be right. Yeah, that's the problem with stretching out with the ball and breaking the plane of the goal line. You're absolutely correct.
No question he was down. The play was dead, but had he put the ball over the goal line, that would have been
fumble.
Another fumble. Van Morris. He's lost it again. And the Giants recover at the 32. Carlton Bailey. So Brown with a chance for amends immediately.
You know, once a young man coughs the ball up, the defensive players then start looking for the point of that ball, trying to knock the ball away. And there is no question now that when Van Morris fumbles it the first time in the first quarter, all the defenders are saying, all right, let's get the ball away from him. Spins. Hit by Jarvis Williams again. And look, Bama saying, oh, no, man, not again.
Jarvis Williams with 2 forced fumbles on the Bam man today. Brown gets away from the rush. Got some speed. And the long-legged ex-Blue Devil is to the 25-yard line. Bill Cowher letting Bam Morris know that we can't afford 2 fumbles half on you, but hey, I'm with you, but
they don't have anybody else. If Bam Morris doesn't play tailback, then John L. Williams has got to move over to tailback. Look, another rookie, Johnson, trying to bolster his spirits. It's on hanging on to the football.
18 yards and 5 carries, 2 fumbles for Bam Morris.
Run!
Second and short. Hampton gets to the 25, a gain of only a yard. It's 3rd and 2. Darren Perry from the secondary making the stop.
Now to this point, you're always looking for balance when you're a football team, and to this point the Steelers defense has been on the field an awful lot in this first half, primarily because of 2 fumbles by Bam Morris.
Veteran John L. Williams pulling him up by the jersey saying, get on your feet, we're going to go to work here. Shooting through is linebacker LaVon Kirkland. He was in almost beating the snap.
This Dom Capers defense of Pittsburgh can make you look bad. Sometimes this offense of the Giants, and any team, frankly, that plays against Pittsburgh, there's Dom Capers, anytime, they're going to make you look bad on some snaps that they just get you.
Del Wiso will kick this one 49.5 yards. Not quite 50. We haven't had many 50s. In fact, only one all year. Del Wiso. Big leg. 6-0 Giants. Bam Morris fumble equals 3 points for the Giants. Precipitation has intensified here at Giant Stadium. Brad Del Wiso, his first field goal attempt of the season, is good from 49. It's 6-0 Giants. Del Wiso kicks it off. It's a line drive. Thigpen. Twisted down at the 27-yard line. Tonight on NBC, a fascinating look. It's the appropriate time of the year. Vampires, witches, and werewolves. Could they actually exist? Find out on The Unexplained. Then it's an all-new Sequest adventure, followed by Jacqueline Smith and the world premiere of Daniel Steele's family album. That's all tonight starting at 7, 6 Central here on NBC.
That's Dave Brown on the Giants sideline, and there's Bam Morris without gloves. Took him off after the last fumble.
Out of the backfield to John L. Williams. Pushed out of bounds by Buckley at the 33-yard line. Gain of about 6.
The Steelers they've not shown up here yet. They best show up in a hurry. Giants have helped with their mistakes. Only 6 points down. Ron Earhart, the offensive coordinator in his Pittsburgh offense, very fortunate.
Seems difficult, especially if you're a Giant fan, to see him on the sidelines in black and gold. So many years the offensive coordinator for Bill Parcells here. Morris vaulting across the 35 to the 36 will be a yard shy of a first down.
And you know, you mentioned Ron Earhart when he was here with the Giants. Who did he have as his running back? Another Morris. Little Joe Morris. When he walked into
the football.
Yeah. When he walked into the stadium today, I saw him. I said, Fargo, do you know which way to go for the visitors' locker room?
Fargo, North Dakota. He and Parcells collaborated for a couple Super Bowl rings. 3 tight ends used here by Bill Cowher. Morris hit low. Submarining was number 90 Corey Widmer. And he was able to stumble forward. It'll be close. They may have to measure. So far, this Giant defense living up to their reputation. They are second best in the league in stopping the run. 2.9 per rush. That's when you're under 3, you're in the elite.
Oh man, if you're under 3.8, you're in the elite. Under 3,
not at that. Well, the defense of Whitmer denies the first down.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers, with or without Barry Foster, an excellent rushing team. So for the Giants to keep shutting down this running game of the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's got to give some incentive to the Giants offense. From behind the defense, Eric Howard, 74, the nose tackle. Whitmer gets under, goes on top of John L. Williams and just blows up the play.
Steelers were averaging 4.4 a try this year, only 3 yards even today against that Giant defense. Meggett keeping his hands dry at the 20. Royals sends a spiral, fair catch. At the 22-yard line, the Giants will begin. They lead at 6-0. Just under 8 minutes left in the half. NBC doubleheader next Sunday.
What are they doing?
A little repair work on
his earring.
On his earring, you know, if you know anything about acupuncture, sometimes that earlobe relates to your right elbow. It can lead to fumble. I haven't fumbled since I took my earring. I know that. At the 22. Brown, the Hampton. At the 24-yard line. I don't know if Dick knows that theory or not. Let's go to New York.
All right, Dick, in Kansas City, Joe Montana, 11 of 15 for 134 yards so far, and this 9-yard touchdown pass to Kimball Anders. With the extra point, the Chiefs have grabbed the lead on the Seattle Seahawks. The score is 7-0, Dick and Bob.
All right, Greg, Joe Montana. Boy, what a week for the veteran quarterback of the Chiefs. Middle incomplete. Rod Woodson riding Mike Sherrard, who wanted a flag. That was in the 5-yard range, however, so he was allowed to use his hand.
Only once, though. You get one chuck in that 5-yard range. He rides him through there. I mean, that was some serious contact. And Mike Sherrard is saying, wait a minute. He can't hold me through the 5-yard range.
Yeah, but you can ride in that 5-yard range. As soon as he leaves the 5, you got to let him go.
Okay.
That was a legal move by him.
Well, Woodson knows the rules.
3rd and 8. Giants lead 6-0. 7 minutes plus left in this opening half.
Blitz.
Picked up nicely. Good throw by Brown, incomplete.
Boy, should have caught that
one. The hit by Myron Bell, the rookie from Michigan State, jarred it away from Sherrard.
Boy, Dick, I mean, Dave Brown did an excellent job on this one. This ball should be caught. He sees the blitzer. Pressure from the inside from Kevin Green. It's low to Sherrard's feet. Very difficult catch. But get down there on the ground. Lake 37 on the outside. Kevin Green on the inside. Oh, and your quarterback goes through that. Got to make a little extra effort.
Moran, the left foot one toward Woodson, who's back at the Pittsburgh 30. Ooh. Bell was in on top of him, and it's a short kick to the Pittsburgh sidelines, and the Steelers will line up in Giant territory when we return.
Good.
At the 45-yard line, trailing 6-0. Giants on a couple of field goals, one very short 19 by Treadwell and a long 49-yarder from DeLuiso, lead at 6-0. We're chatting between breaks here, and your comment, well placed, Bob Trumpy. The Giants overcoming a lot in this first half to have the lead.
Yes.
6-0. Meanwhile, this is the best field position for Neil O'Donnell to start a series. He gives to Van Morris. And Morris, going outside, picks up about 8 yards. Hannah Storm joins us on the sidelines.
Well, the Giants, Dick, were concerned about team unity in the face of this 3-game losing streak. So linebacker Michael Brooks decided to take charge and have sort of a group bonding session on Friday night. He took the entire team out for a steak dinner, spent about $3,000, and he wants to start something every week, a group project for this team. He says he's going to take them bowling next week, Dick.
That's when you want to pick up the bill. O'Donnell to Morris, and they're going outside now with the rookie, and he has a first down at the Giant 32. So first a little outside move right, and then they sweep the left side.
And Dick, this is nice. Bill Cowher, Ron Earhart know how important Bam Morris is to this offense. Now that Barry Foster is hurt, they put it right back in his hands. Excellent blocking up front. Duval Love, he dives for the first down. One of the few first downs the Steelers have had in this first half.
Youngest of 10, his brother Ron Morris. I think he's the #1 pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a receiver, yeah.
Good catch by Morris. And battling to get another yard to the 29, but sometimes it's in that struggle where the fumbles are created. Giants Stadium, rainy Sunday in the east. 5.5 minutes remaining. The Giants lead 6-0, but the Steelers have driven to the 29-yard line where it's 2nd and 7.
You know, there's a little series of plays here. A couple of runs by Morris, pass to Morris, setting him up for what he might do for the Steelers in the second half. We need you, son.
3 wideouts for O'Donnell. And a draw wide open. Big hole for Morris. Hurdles to the 18. First down, Pittsburgh. Wow, there just were no blue jerseys there.
Well sold by the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line. John Jackson, 65, just throws Strahan out of the way. And then also gets a block on Michael Brooks. Actually, that's a little too much air for a running back of his size. You know, you hit that guy, stay on the ground, because that's when fumbles happen.
John Booty made the tackle. Steelers' best drive now comes to the 17-yard line. O'Donnell to the end zone, incomplete to Green. Eric Green, who has a couple of touchdowns, the tight end this year. A flag is down, thrown at the feet of O'Donnell, and that's usually the call. Whoops. Into the face, one of the blockers trying to help O'Donnell.
Whoops. It's funny. Seldom do you have two quarterbacks from the same area of the country.
Illegal use of hands. Number 67 on the offense. Hands to the face at the 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
But in O'Donnell's case, you know, his parents have had season tickets here since 1980. As again, you see, look for 67. Hand up underneath the face mask on Eric Howard, 74. That's who Duval Love is doing it on. Well, again, Pittsburgh being their own worst enemy here in this first half.
First down 20 as you look at O'Donnell's numbers. Another draw to Bam Morris. It's hard to believe that he weighs 235 pounds the way he can motor.
And I see he should have put his shoulder down and run right over John Booty. This is a big, strong kid. It was the same draw play they ran before, Dick. And again, it is absolutely wide open. Excellent block downfield by the wide receiver, but he should have run right over John Booty there.
Well, perhaps those two fumbles have tempered his aggression.
Well, maybe. But you can leave a message on that field of that defensive back.
16 yards nevertheless, and it brings up 2nd down and 4. Morris being rested to play. He's been used 5 in a row. John L. Williams, the only running back. He's in the pattern and is blocked. And goes right back to O'Donnell, who throws incomplete. And there go the flags. You can't throw 2 passes. And O'Donnell, that wasn't a lateral. That was a pass attempt deflected to O'Donnell. He could have run with it or lateraled it, but he couldn't throw another one.
And maybe in his backyard in New Jersey, but not here.
Keith Hamilton was the man who appeared to deflect the ball at the line of scrimmage.
We have 2 forward passes by the offense. That is loss of down, 3rd down.
It's no more than an incomplete pass, as it turns out.
It looks like Hamilton is the one that gets his arm up. Boy, that's just pure coincidence. But Neal does make a nice catch.
So 3rd down and 4. Bill Cowher said, I don't remember drawing that one up.
That's not the way it's supposed to work, Dick.
6-0 Giants. 3:50 left in the half.
And it's been an exciting first half. It's 6-0.
Bam Morris is back in with John L. Williams. Incomplete. Williams open in the end zone. The pass was too low. It's a lot of time not to find somebody alone.
And John L. Williams, such an excellent receiver and one of the top 3 running backs reception-wise in the history of the league, knew that O'Donnell was in trouble there, made himself a receiver, but Neal just couldn't quite get it to him where he could catch it.
Gary Anderson, 7 for 7 inside the 45 this year. This is a 29-yard attempt. And Anderson has his 300th career NFL field goal. And it's the Giants 6, the Steelers 3. Now for an NFL update, let's go to Greg Gumbel in our New York studios.
All right, Dick, in Cleveland, the Browns were down a touchdown when Vinny Testaverde tossed to Leroy Horde out of the backfield. He went 11 yards for the score. The extra point tied it up, but the Bengals have just converted a field goal and have gone back ahead again, looking for their first win of the season, 13-10, Dick.
All right, Greg, and certainly that's a score of interest to the fans watching in Pittsburgh as the Steelers trail the Browns by 1 full game in the AFC Central, although they do have that early win at Cleveland, a very big win. Dave Brown tunes up as the Giants have 3.5 minutes left before the intermission. Gary Anderson, among the active kickers, is 3rd in scoring. He holds all the Pittsburgh Steelers records in scoring, and that particular field goal, his 300th, makes him number 6 all-time, tied with Mark Mosley.
Man, that's a lot of points out of those legs, isn't it? Wasn't it Pete Gogolak that started that trend? Was he the first sidewinder?
I believe he was.
Played right here for the Giants.
That'll never work. 11-yard line. And the ace return man with flags down is to the 31. While they sort out the penalty, let's look ahead to next weekend. Saturday, tradition of Notre Dame football continues on NBC. Lou Holtz is Fighting Irish. Will take on the midshipmen of Navy. That's Navy Notre Dame, part of a great football tradition. Next Saturday, 1:30 Eastern, right here on NBC. Bernie Kukar.
Personal foul, a low block by number 34 on the return team on the run back. That's a 15-yard penalty.
Gary
Half
Downs.
the distance to the goal. First down.
The NFL has outlawed this stuff a long time ago. See if we can pick it up. Well, 34 kind of fell into 92, if that's the penalty that they call. It certainly wasn't intentional, but the penalty was on Gary Downs.
So instead of starting at their 31, the Giants begin this series at the 13. The Steelers were outside. Charging through was Joel Steed. Wants to go into housing redevelopment. He just kind of redeveloped that scrimmage line.
When in doubt, make it obvious.
Offside on the defense, number 93. At the 5-yard penalty, we're going to repeat first down.
That's the Hamburglar. Right there.
He said he prefers Monster as his nickname.
I like Hamburglar. Only because he didn't like it.
1st and 5. Hampton has a hole and a first down at the 25-yard line. Lloyd and Brown, linebackers, make the stop.
This Pittsburgh defense does a lot of stunning, slanting up front. Sometimes they're going to get you. Sometimes you're going to get them. And on that particular down, they stunted right away from the run. Hampton had a nice little hole there, and it took very little blocking.
Green stops Hampton after a couple of yards. Here the count of Dave Brown, and he's been altering that, and apparently very effectively, because he's pulled the Steelers offside 2 or 3 times. Approaching the 2-minute timeout. And it doesn't appear Brown and the Giants will try to run a play with 2:10. And just 3 field goals on the rainy turf of Giants Stadium. 2 minutes to go. First half. And we welcome you back to Giants Stadium. A field goal half of 6-3. What's surprising is Bam Morris with the 2 fumbles, and it seems like he struggled. But he has a 62-yard. He's on pace for a 125-yard game.
Well, I think that Bill Cowher and his coaching staff realized, look, as long as Foster's out, we got to keep this treat this kid with kid glove. So you see a lot of people talking with him, and in the second quarter used him a lot, and he is a quality running back.
Well, the Giants leading 6-3. Have it at their 25. Dave Brown underneath with a sidearm to Meggett. Not much there at all. Good solid tackle by Chad Brown.
Meggett, we were hoping for. Never mind.
Well, we'll get your thought after this word.
Thank you.
Then you flip the hat. You're late and you got the wrong hat. Sit in the corner.
Ooh, no respect at all.
Then you raise the hat.
Hey, this thing's still alive.
Wrong hat. Then you slam the hat. Then you spin the hat.
Oh, I need landing instructions.
Wrong hat. Then you smooth the hat.
Take it easy, will you? I think I'm having a hat attack.
You need the right hat. Insurance star hat.
Now I'll get some respect.
6-3 Giants. A reminder coming up, the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report with Greg Gumbel and Mike Ditka. They'll bring you up to date all the scores and highlights from around the league on this Sunday, plus an exclusive interview with former Steelers offensive lineman Carlton Hasselrig. And that's at halftime today. Carlton, one of the best in the league in troubled times.
Yeah, one of the best in the league, and that didn't satisfy him.
3rd down and 7 for Brown and the Giants. Eludes pressure. Now throws incomplete to Callaway. Well covered by Dion Figures, and Brown showing good patience in the pocket as he was being hammered by Ray Seals.
And the fact that this is just his 7th start. I was going to say something about Dave Meggett before that commercial. There was a case where he was in blocking, not as a pass receiver on that last snap. I don't understand what's happened to Dave Meggett in the Giants' scheme of things.
Woodson back at his 26. Horan to punt. Steelers have the return on. Nice kick. Watch out. 25. A lot of room to run. 30. And out of bounds outside the 35-yard line. Fans wanted an illegal block downfield from the Steelers' Tim McKyer, but the official ruled he had his head in front. A reminder, unforgettable journey it is tonight when the Sequest crew travels 200 years into the future. Finds giant robots in control. Don't miss this exciting all-new Sequest tonight at 8, 7 Central here on NBC.
Again, if the helmet is in front, well, that's pretty close.
It wasn't McKyer who was nearby. It was 42 Randy Cuthbert, who was Dave Brown's roommate all 4 years at Duke. So they'll have something to talk about after the game today.
As a matter of fact, Dave Brown was trying to talk the Giants into bringing Cuthbert into New York.
Trailing 6-3. 1.5 minutes left for Neil O'Donnell. Underneath. Whoa, what a hit on Andre Hastings, his first catch of the day. Carlton Bailey with the stopper.
Giants now in that prevent mode.
Steelers have 2 timeouts. 2nd and 1. To Green, the tight end at the 50. See if they use one here. Yes. With a minute and a second left, and the Steelers a first down at midfield. O'Donnell spends his second timeout.
Well, for what little the Steelers have done offensively in this first half, to be down just 6-3, they have to go in at halftime no matter what happens on this closing drive. Not feeling confident, but at least not feeling uncomfortable about their performance in the first half.
Now, the quality of this game, Bob Trumpy, probably improves at the fan level the closer you are to the field. This is the kind of game where the hitting, I mean, even though it's only 6-3, the hitting has been incredibly intense. I think the farther away you are, the less interesting it is. If you're close, you're hearing a pretty good game. I'm not trying to be funny.
Wait. Let me see if I understand this. You're saying that some people in this stadium are saying this is a lousy first half. But then there are others who are saying,
I love defensive football.
I love defensive football.
And I'm glad I'm down close to the
And then
field
there are
like
some right in between.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's usually where it goes. You got high, low.
You have a way with words. I mean, there's no argument.
First down for O'Donnell. Goes long for Thigpen. Good coverage by the rookie Thomas Randolph. Randolph from Kansas State. He has the speed to cover man-to-man. He was a sprint champion in college, three-time All-American.
Both those guys are real sprint guys. See the hand across the face of the defender, no flag, but that was a real step-to-step foot race down to that ball.
There's Randolph. Grew up in Manhattan, Kansas. He's nailed by Jesse Armstead, the linebacker from Miami of Florida.
The Giants even toyed with making Jesse Armstead a safety instead of a linebacker. He's not particularly big, but he has great speed. Armstead is right here. He's going to put the pressure on. They just can't decide what to do with this guy, so in the nickel packages, they put him in there. He sees the delay, and O'Donnell knows he's going to get sacked. See, he's already kind of scrunching up to protect himself. Armstead gets it.
Eric Howard was the one who really opened it up for Armstead. We go back to a play where the Giants thought they should still have had the ball on the 1-yard line. Brown has it. Instead, Woodson strips it away. It's ruled a fumble, recovered by Kevin Green.
That's part of what some of the problems that the Giants have experienced in this first half. They had a what was that fumble? It was almost 32 yards, and then they had a
26-yard fumble.
Yeah,
and then a fumble they lost on the 1-yard line. And still lead 6-3. 3rd and 16 for O'Donnell.
Jarnell.
Oh, what a catch by Hastings. Sliding to the far sidelines, reaches back and somehow controls it. Oh.
This guy never took a physics class. You're not supposed to be able to do that.
And that's good enough for a first down. They needed 16 and a half. They get 20. O'Donnell to Green in a crowd. Stolen by Jesse Campbell. Campbell took it right away from the tight end. And that will end a weird first half of NFL play.
Yeah, I can feel that sense of a good game. Kind of flowing up the seats here. This is a great job by Campbell. As Green is going down, he just stands there, big, strong kid, obviously. Takes it right out of the biggest tight end in captivity's arms.
That was at the 30-yard line, certainly within a field goal range of Anderson to tie.
He's an excellent long-distance field goal kicker. Well, again, great break for the Giants.
19 seconds left, and Brown's not going to take any chances. In the Joe Pisarcik formation, he kneels down, and the final seconds will tick away. Bam Morris, a couple of fumbles. First half that he'd just soon forget, and Green makes it 3 turnovers on fumbles for the Steelers. We'll be back with Greg Gumbel in the Domino's Pizza NFL halftime report after these words from your local station.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be good and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
Welcome back to our studios here in New York, everyone. Along with Mike Ditka, I'm Greg Gumbel. Let's run down scores and highlights for you, beginning with the Giants game. At the Meadowlands, the Giants are leading the Pittsburgh Steelers at halftime by a score of 6-3. There is Dave Brown under a little pressure this week. As far as his starting job at quarterback, the Giants lost a touchdown when Brian Williams, first of all, his snap was early and Dave Meggett recovered the fumble. And then the Giants lost a touchdown here when Howard Cross dropped Brown's pass in the end zone. That's an easy one. Never should have happened. They had to settle for a 19-yard Treadwell field goal. It was 3-0 in the second when Brown on the quarterback draw, stripped by Rod Woodson. His knee looked down before he lost the ball, but the officials said otherwise, and the Steelers recovered. Bam Morris starting for injured Barry Foster. Tough half. Fumbled twice in the first half. This one recovered by Carlton Bailey. Both of his fumbles led to Giants field goals. And at halftime, it is a 6-3 game. Just before the start of the game today, you said the quarterback that makes the fewest mistakes and gets the running game going within this game.
Brown's played well in the game. I mean, I think he was down. I don't think that was a fumble. There was a bad snap from the center. I mean, he's really done his job in the football game. He's not playing that bad. The drop pass by Cross, I mean, they could be winning the game a lot better than they are. But you're right. It's going to be turnovers. Whoever makes the least of them is going to win the game.
6-3 Giants at halftime in Kansas City. The Chiefs are leading the Seattle Seahawks at halftime by a score of 13-0. The Chiefs lost wide receiver J.J. Burton on the second play of the game with a lower back contusion. Joe Montana to Kimball Anders out of the backfield. Watch his dive, just make it into the end zone. 9 yards and a touchdown and a 7-0 Chiefs lead. Then, on the ensuing kickoff, Michael Bates will fumble. Mark Collins will recover. That led to Lynn Elliott's 49-yard field goal. The Chiefs added another three-pointer before halftime, and it is a 13-0 Kansas City lead on the Seahawks. The Chiefs are 4-2, and the Seahawks are 3-3. At the Silverdome in Pontiac, the Lions, 2 touchdowns now on the Chicago Bears, 14-0 as they approach halftime in Detroit. Chris Spielman, a 24-yard fumble return. In Cleveland, the Bengals are leading the Browns at halftime. The score is 13-10 in this game. And Vinny Testaverde and the Central Division leading Browns with their hands full so far. Bengal defense, 8 sacks last week against the Steelers. There's Dan Wilkinson, his first NFL sack. He buries Testaverde. Following a Louis Oliver interception, David Klingler to Tim McGee in the corner of the end zone. 11 yards and a touchdown, and the Bengals led 10-3. Testaverde to Leroy Horde on the screen here, and watch Horde, 11 yards to make it into the end zone to tie this game at 10, but the Bengals went up 13-10. That is the score at halftime at the Dog Pound in Cleveland. In Indianapolis, the Redskins are trailing Indianapolis 17-13 at halftime, and in New Orleans, the Saints hosting and leading the Los Angeles Rams 24-17. Coming up, Jim Gray will have the story of troubled Steelers offensive lineman Carlton Hasselrig. That's next after these words from your local station.
Welcome back to Giants Stadium. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy and Hannah Storm. Let's take a look at the Coors Light halftime statistics. Both teams back on the field. And despite all the talk about stopping the run, actually the Steelers, Bam Morris has all 62 of those yards, a 5.6 yard average.
Even with the 2 fumbles. I mean, a great confidence that Bill Cowher shows in that young man. Of course, the 3 turnovers by the Steelers, and frankly, I still don't think the 1 fumble by the Giants was, in fact, a fumble.
Well, that cost them more than a field goal, and then they had the Howard Cross drop of another touchdown. So the Giants could well be in front 17-3. As Gary Anderson sends it into the second half. Bobbled by rookie Thomas Lewis, and then he has to eat it at the 16-yard line. Let's go to Hannah Storm.
Well, Dick, I talked with Bill Cowher at halftime, and he said a couple of things. He thought his defense was doing a good job, and so was his offensive line, but he said Neil O'Donnell is not being patient enough. Also, regarding Bam Morris and the fumbles, he said no way is Bam Morris coming out of this football game. He said Barry Foster's first start that he had under me against the Jets in 1992, he fumbled 3 times, and he's equating today's situation to that. They went on to win that game, and he said he's not going to pull the young Bam Morris because he doesn't want to mess with his confidence, Dick.
All right, and in fact, in that game, Foster had like 190 yards.
Yes, he did.
Brown to Hampton. Hampton unable to break many big runs in that first half. Tackled by Chad Brown after a 2-yard gain. Comparison of the 2 quarterbacks. Brown much more productive, and when you throw a couple of drops on by the Giant receivers, his numbers would be even more impressive.
Yeah, Neil O'Donnell has missed some open receivers, and Dave Brown's receivers have not treated him very well.
Hampton with only 31 yards rushing in the game. Flags are down, and that pass well shy of Chris Callaway.
Yeah, they had two guys moving there. One in motion, and then Kenyon Rashid broke out of his stance. Yeah, illegal procedure. That's an easy call.
Illegal motion on the offense. Two men moving at the same time. The penalty is declined. Third down.
So with the incomplete pass, the Steelers take the down. It's 3rd and 10. Bill Cowher, special teams coach under Marty Schottenheimer, and then elevated to an assistant. He credits Schottenheimer with not only his success but inspiration.
Along with Frank Gans, gave him credit too, another special teams coach.
Brown under pressure, throws underneath to Lewis, and the rookie fumbles, and now they're going to call it incomplete. Incomplete pass. Carnell Lake all over the ball, but ruled incomplete. So Lewis had trouble handling the opening kickoff of the second half and knocked away from the ball there. So very unproductive start for Brown in the second half, and the Giants will have to kick from deep in their own end. Each team with 4 punts in the first half, reflective of the defensive order of play. Woodson is at his own 38. In on Horan again. Good kick. 35-yard line. 40. Into the 50 goes Rod Woodson. A 15-yard return of a 47-yard punt. Brian Kozlowski, the Giant tackler. And Neil O'Donnell starts much better shape than did his counterpart. He gets to put it in play from the 50.
And field position helps so much when you've got a half that you just as soon forget offensively. And it's still drizzling here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The one thing that Neil has not done is I don't think he's really found Derek Green enough in this from the first half. Green has been open a couple of times, and for some strange reason he's been ignored.
Two hard-earned yards. Mike Strahan and others in on the stop.
Well,
ran to 2 tight ends. They had both Hayes and Green on that side.
And you know, this Giant defensive front 4, they went from the 34 for 2 reasons. One, they lost Lawrence Taylor to retirement. 2, Mike Nolan said, look, our best personnel is up front. We need 4 defensive linemen up there because we've got 4 good defensive linemen up there. They're very active, really pursue beautifully.
Threw that one away.
Yeah, now that's not on O'Donnell.
Good coverage by the Giants.
Yes, and also the Giants came with a 6-man blitz. They came with the 4 defensive linemen and 2 extra linebackers. So you're going to see that the Pittsburgh Steelers are basically outnumbered, but Bam Morris, who has to learn some pass protection, did a decent job on Carlton Bailey 54. But look, they're all running deep patterns. Pittsburgh did not expect the blitz. That's one you give to the defense.
Blitz again. O'Donnell completes the Big Ten short of a first down at the 43. Thomas Randolph covering for the Giants, and the Steelers are going to have to punt.
And again, the Giants come with the blitz. You can see O'Donnell getting very flustered back there in the pocket. Lucky to find Thigpen as that outlet receiver.
Royals comes in, and Meggett to return for the Giants. Sends it high. Meggett fair catch. 11-yard line. So the Giants will begin from that spot. 32-yard punt. just into the second half. Back in the rainy Meadowlands, Giants Stadium, sold out as always, 76,000 plus. Giants lead 6-3 early third quarter. Ball at the 11. Hampton wrapped up by Levon Kirkland. Let's go to Greg Gumbel. What's happening with the Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, Dick, the Seahawks are on the board in the third quarter. John Vaughn watched the mix-up in the backfield, and why not just come this way? 3 yards and a touchdown to the end of the dive with the extra point. The Chiefs' lead is now 13-7 in the third, Dick and Bob.
Another one that's tough to draw up, huh? We've had a couple of those, too. Brown. Swallowed inside the 5-yard line.
You can't blame that on Dave Brown. There was no one open.
305-pounder Brenson Buckner doing the boogie in the end zone there. Got a little piece of it.
He doesn't get many chances to celebrate. Again, now watch Dave Brown as he's looking down the field. This is a zone by Pittsburgh. Rodney Hampton comes out, but there's a linebacker right behind him. Not much protection there. You can't blame that on Dave Brown.
Darnell Lake from safety and on the play, but it was Buckner who got the sack, his second. Third of this game by the Steelers. Boy, the Giants going the wrong way in their 2 possessions of this half. Dave Brown just getting out of there and slides down at the 10-yard line, avoiding the safety, and the Giants will have to punt.
Yeah, they're definitely losing field position. It makes it more and more difficult to function to start this second half.
Well, the Giants last week out at Los Angeles against the Rams. The Rams had the lead. The Giants, he kept getting the feeling that they were, this would be the time, and another time, and Chuck Knox's Rams kept denying, and the Giants kept losing opportunities, and finally were defeated in an upset.
The Giants did not convert a third down in the second half of last week's game.
Moran, the third time that he lined up in his own end zone, and he drives a good one to Woodson at the 40. A lot of running room for the All-Pro. But he doesn't attack it, dances, and gets 7 on the return. 50-yard punt by Horan. Timeout. Welcome back with 10:23 left in the third quarter. Pittsburgh finding nothing in the first 6 games of this year in this quarter.
See, that's great news for Bill Cowher. What else can you tell me today that I really don't want to know?
Kind of game where a touchdown by either team would be so large. From just across his own 48, O'Donnell throwing on first down. Just gets it away and avoids the loss. Bam Morris will gain a yard or 2 out of the play.
Mike Fox was right at O'Donnell's feet. This defensive line of the Giants has done an excellent job in a very timely fashion putting pressure on the quarterback. There's Fox. He gets around the guard. Just jumps right around the guard. Kalison is right at O'Donnell's feet. Lucky to make that completion.
He saved about a 7-yard
Yes,
loss.
he did.
Throw to Morris. And he's down to the 42-yard line. That'll be close to a first down. He's made the tackle.
He looks a little tentative, but he is keeping his focus down the field. Watch this run by Bam Morris. Sidestep. John L. leads up through, covers up the ball a little bit right there. He's not really running full steam, but he's under control, making sure he does not cough that ball up.
Giants come in with some extra beef on third and short, and Neil O'Donnell, and it's his prerogative, asked for a measurement. It looks as if they're about a half-yard short, but this will give him more time to think over the play and work it out with the sidelines.
Yeah, Pittsburgh has had so many opportunities here at midfield. They just can't get that play to keep the drive alive. That
much on third down. Meanwhile, Bam Morris, who had 82 yards last week at Cincinnati filling in for Foster, has 71 yards today, and he's averaging 5.5 a carry. Well, that would lead the league probably.
Now, in case you're wondering where he got the nickname Bam, had some kid in the headlock and his. Wait a minute, I'll tell you after this play.
Give to the up back, John L. Williams, and he slips through. A quick pop by Williams for a first down. So how did Bam get his nickname?
He was in Cooper, Texas, which is a small town, you see. Had a kid in the headlock, you understand.
He was 5 years old.
5 years old. His great uncle saw him just hitting his kid in the head going, bam, bam, bam. And they shortened it to Bam, and that's his nickname.
Bam Morris. Steelers trail 6-3. Bam, bam, bam. To the 31-yard line. A gain of 6. Jesse Campbell, the safety, with a stop.
Pittsburgh offensive line beginning to take some control. Running to the perimeter now as opposed to right up through the middle. This is an outstanding offensive line. Searcy, Kalis, Dawson, Duval Love back in. John Jackson at 148 yards a game. I mean, they're going to get there if they keep it up. This is a fine rushing offensive line.
Looking for 100 yards today. Morris again goes wide. Flag down. And an athletic effort will be denied, apparently. Morris wants the first down. But Bernie Kukar saw something he didn't like.
Goodness.
Instead of a first down near the 25-yard line.
Holding number 65 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Offensive left tackle. He's on Strahan, 92. Here's where it all happens. The running back goes right behind him. Jackson, a quality offensive tackle who, he's got a hold of his jersey.
Left hand. See that.
Yep.
So the ball marked out at the 41-yard line, 2nd and 14. Good call for it, a screen to Morris. And again he goes airborne and hit down at the 26. It's a first down. But that's a habit he's going to have to stop.
You are absolutely correct. There is no question about that. He's done it about 4 or 5 times. This is well done by Pittsburgh. You see the blitz by the Giants. The line holds them up and still releases. See the blocking out front by Eric Green, the tight end, but he's got to stop doing this. That is a formula for disaster. You take the contact.
That was a perfect call against the blitz. The screen. There weren't many blue shirts left. So first down, trailing 6-3. Reverse. Charles Johnson, the rookie wide receiver, doesn't get but a yard. Giants not fooled a bit, and Mike Fox, 93, along with Carlton Bailey to make the stop.
And there was a lot of activity there for just a yard gain.
And John Jackson, a cramp apparently in that left leg.
Kind of surprising, that reverse. That's a finesse play, but they must have been expecting a blitz, and a blitz can be taken care of with a nice little reverse.
So with the timeout, 6:32 left in the third. Still a field goal game. Oh, in 2 weeks, one of the great days in sport, the Breeders' Cup here on NBC. The NFL thoroughbreds at work here at Giant Stadium. Low scoring, 6-3. Steelers in field goal range. 2nd and 9 at the Giant 25. Flag down. Morris trying to turn the corner. Knocked out after a 3-yard gain, and now the penalty. Little extra from Jarvis Williams. Offside against the Giants. So the Steelers undoubtedly will take the penalty, save the down. Takes it down to the 20-yard line.
Offside. Number 93 on the defense, lined up in the neutral zone. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Now that's that new rule this year that players have adjusted to. We saw a lot of penalties early. Not so many in the last few weeks, but Fox caught leaning into that neutral zone.
Yeah, and a lot of times these guys just line up on the guy they're on. And if he's back a little bit, the defensive guy's going to be in the neutral zone.
On 2nd and 4, Morris. As he twisted down by Felipe Sparks. Left corner. Eric Howard there as well. And that at the 15 will be a first down.
Watch 67 here. Left guard Duval Love. He logs Hamilton, the defensive end in. John L. Williams doesn't quite get the block. This is a good pulling offensive line, and John L. Williams a good lead blocker. And Bam Morris has recovered from his fumbleitis, at least to this point in the second half.
Looks like at least the length of the ball for a first down, but they will measure.
Yeah. Say, you know, that earring adjustment that we saw Bam Morris go through.
That made
it worked. It worked.
See, I told you. See, you laugh at me sometimes.
Boy, I tell you, Dick Enberg, you sure know a lot about football.
No, that's acupressure, acupuncture. It is a first down outside the 15 of the Giants. 5:27 left as Bam Morris moving toward the century mark here at Giants Stadium. Crowd trying to help out the defense. Play at Green. To Green, incomplete. Intercepted. Giants in the end zone. Felipe Sparks. A long drive for naught by Pittsburgh.
Well, Green was open, and I don't think Neil O'Donnell has any excuse. There was some pressure, but he threw the ball too high up in the air and overthrows Eric Green.
And it's a goal.
Not an interception, not again.
Well, it evened out because that was not an interception. Sparks had dropped it in the end zone, but it wasn't seen. And Felipe credited with his 3rd interception of the year.
It bounces on the turf.
Oh, my. 6-3 Giants.
Welcome back to the inside of Giants Stadium. Hannah Storm, along with Pittsburgh Steelers President Dan Rooney, who has formulated a plan for overall realignment in the NFL. At this point, how does it look?
Well, we hope to be able to get it at our meeting on November 1st because it really will be the last opportunity we have to realign at this time. And I don't think if we get it now, it'll be some time before that opportunity arises again.
The opposition has been pretty strong to this. What are most of the owners saying that are opposed?
Well, I don't know that there's a strong opposition to it. I think that, unfortunately, they only need 8 votes to be against it. And I know of 3 or 4 that are against it, but if we can keep the others there, I think we'll be all right.
All right, let's listen to this play.
No gain to the 20-yard line, Rodney Hafton. Dan Rooney talking with Hannah Storm. There were 4 changes in his most simplified form. Maybe you could go through those for us, Hannah.
Okay, what we're asking is if you could go through the changes that you've proposed.
Well, what we really have talked about is a change for each division, that there would be 6, and it would be even across the board. There would be 1 change in each of the divisions, and there would be 2 changes in the 2 divisions that only have 4. So that way we feel that it would be very equal for all and not a strain on any other division.
All right, thank you very much. Get back and watch the game.
One-handed catch. Chris Callaway has made 2 of the most sensational catches you'd ever want to see in this game.
And you think he's not showing up in front of his former teammates? It's over Rod Woodson again. There was pressure by Greg Lloyd on Dave Brown. He throws it perfectly. And it ends up being a 40-yard completion, bumping going down the field. Callaway sticks out that left hand, catches the point of it, cradles it. Wow.
That goes with a 44-yarder earlier that he made over the shoulder, looking back, leaning back. That is a A+.
That is a friend competing against a friend.
40-yard line. Brown. Down heavily at the 48-yard line. Let's just hope he's not injured. He was really turned backwards by Ray Seal's sack and a flag down. He's okay.
That's a tough kid that can take that hit, Dick.
It's those flexibility exercises they all take now, paying off.
Holding number 66 on the offense. Penalty is declined. Second down.
Veteran William Roberts from Ohio State trying to protect his quarterback.
Yeah, I think he was on Ray Seals, too. Let's see if we can pick it up. Here's Roberts. Here's Seals. Let's see if this is not the combination that produces. Yeah, he just shoves Roberts right back in, right onto the legs of Dave Brown. Oh.
You talk about a bull rush. Ray Seals, that was a bull rush for his second sack of the year. Second and long. 4 sacks now for Pittsburgh. Brown, incomplete for Thomas Lewis. 6-3, Giants over the Steelers. Let's go to NFL Live.
All right, Dick, and we'll go to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Marcus Allen. A lot of life in those legs. 36-yard burst, 117th career touchdown. He becomes number 4 all-time. The Chiefs lead the Seattle Seahawks 21-7. And Dick and Bob, you'll be seeing the Chiefs next Sunday against Buffalo.
Rematch of their playoff game, Greg. He passes John Riggins with that touchdown. 3rd and 18 for Dave Brown and the Giants. From a scramble and not much there. Down at the 42, out of field goal range. Greg Lloyd with the tackle. But despite that sensational acrobatic catch by Callaway, the Giants stall.
And Dick, something I do not understand here. This was a 3rd down and long situation. Dave Meggett was in the backfield. He was there for blocking only. He didn't even run a pattern. I don't know what's happened to Dave Meggett. I don't know why he's not a factor for the Giants anymore, but this is now the 3rd straight week.
No rushes today and 1 catch for 3 yards for Meggett. Woodson stands at the 10. The Giants, with that Callaway catch, have won back the field position battle. And it's going into the end zone. The Steelers have it at the 20-yard line when we return. Giants lead by a field goal. Turnovers today. The Giants have taken it away 4 times, only lost it once. The first 2 Bam Morris fumbles led to their 2 field goals, but they have not converted since. But indeed, that interception stopped scoring. Sparks controversial interception in the end zone. From the 20-yard line, O'Donnell starts late in the 3rd. Wide open. And it's Andre Hastings out close to a first down at the 29. Brooks and Buckley, the tacklers.
The Giants like to play the double zone. Corners up, safeties out. Here you'll see it perfectly. Corner lets him go inside, and it's the linebacker's responsibility for coverage. Nice little hole there in the defense. O'Donnell able to make the completion. Neil O'Donnell to this point not played very well. He can save this game by an outstanding performance over this last minute 50 of the 3rd quarter and into the 4th.
2nd and 1. They lose 2. Bam Morris dumped in his backfield. Well, the Steelers living up to their 1994 3rd quarter effort, unable to score this period.
And this, there wasn't much here. There were several people in there. Coleman Rudolph, number 91, among others.
Former New York Jet. Didn't have to sell his house.
Yeah.
Changed his uniform, same home park.
Yeah, we better get used to saying that. Former something. I think for the next several years, there could be a lot of former somebodies playing for people.
3rd and 3. Whoa, Sparks. No, it's the rookie Rudolph. Thomas Rudolph reaching in and denying.
Excellent coverage. Outstanding coverage. Again, it's speed on speed. Thigpen was the intended receiver. Now watch the coverage here. Man to man, he's right there. Now looking back at the quarterback. Boy, that's some skill. That's some fresh legs.
So first Rudolph with a loss, and now Randolph with a defensive play, and we have our 13th punt of the game. Now that's another reason to like this game. If you like punting. Meggett has a little trouble, and at the 29-yard line. 6-3, the Giants lead. 13 punts. Oh, my. Next Saturday, following the Navy-Notre Dame game, we hope you'll catch two great sports specials on NBC's Saturday Sports Showcase. First, Atlanta, 1996. NBC will take a look ahead of the 96 Summer Games in Atlanta, take a look back, some of the all-time great athletes from Summer Olympics past. We'll visit the star, in fact, of the 76 Summer Olympics, Nada Comaneci, and that's followed by Golf, the Greatest Game, capture the essence of golf's appeal from the 25 handicap player to the U.S. Open champion. That's all next Saturday. Brown guns it. Intercepted Darren Perry, his 6th of the year. That, for the moment, leads the AFC.
Boy, I don't know why Dave Brown threw that one. There was no way in the world he wants to try to get that ball down the middle here.
He's reacting as you did,
yes.
Trumpy.
Why there? Here's the guy who is the intended receiver, but you have corner, safety. This guy runs the slant. The ball is intercepted right here, and there is no space for this football. This is the first bad choice that Dave Brown has made today. He's trying to get the ball to cross, but the linebacker's underneath him. And Perry's there to make the pick. I mean, you don't get him that easy in practice.
For Brown, it's his 10th interception of the year. That's one more than Phil Simms all of last season. This is John L. Williams, almost got his head taken off down at the 43, a gain of 7.
And Dick, again now, Pittsburgh back with that great field position as this quarter's about to end. Dave Brown's got to be mad at himself for that particular throw. The rest of them I think he can accept, but that was a very poor choice on his part.
Darren Perry was picked in the 8th round by the Steelers. Said, I guess the computer just didn't spit my name out with any pluses, but boy, he's been a fine performer. 6 interceptions this year, final seconds of the 3rd. No scoring in this second half. The Steelers in Giant territory. We're back after these messages from your local station.
By authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited.
Oh, a couple of Bam Morris fumbles in the first half, and the Giants got 2 field goals. One short, 19, another 49-yarder to lead it 6-3. And might be wise for both of those field goal kickers to stay loose.
Yes.
It's that kind of game.
You're right.
Steelers start the 4th quarter at the Giant 43. This is 2nd and 3. O'Donnell goes deep. Knocked away. Ernie Mills was the intended target, and Jesse Campbell, another good play. It was Campbell who stole the ball from Big Eric Green, remember, in the first half.
Yeah, O'Donnell had 2 choices there. He could have taken the sure first down with a pass to Green out in the flat. You just saw him. This is excellent coverage. Now, this Giant defensive backfield has taken a lot of heat in his 94 season. First time they're really playing together. Not many people happy with their performances, but it's not shown today.
Well, did any team lose more players, good players, than the Giants in free agency?
I don't think so.
3rd and 3, the draw to John L. Williams. It works again, but flags are down. Williams to the 33 would be a first down. Flag thrown at the 40. Well, the Steelers have had some of those today that have slowed their drive.
Both teams have. Make a good play, penalty brings it back. Morris on the sideline there. That's the same draw that they were running with Morris. They just handed the ball to John L. Williams.
Holding, number 67 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Second on Duval Love today.
Now Dave Brown is hoping nothing comes of that interception he threw.
It's kind of penalties like that set up another punt, you know?
Yes.
There are the 4th quarter stats of the first 6 games this year. Neither man that successful. More interceptions than touchdowns. 3rd and 13. This was from 2nd and 1. They go to 3rd and 13 and a sack by Eric Howard. Pride and joy of Gilroy, California, the world's garlic capital. He was right in the face of O'Donnell for his, well, he's got 3.5 sacks now, as you can see this year.
Well, you can see O'Donnell kind of crumble here, too. Watch, when the pressure begins to show on him, he almost brings the ball down. Right there. See, he feels it's coming.
14th punt of the game.
What?
Mark Royals to Dave Meggett. Ooh, back off the side of the foot. Oh, that's going to be one of those teenage punts. In the teens in yardage.
Oh.
Giants are going to get it at their own 47. 16 yards on the punt by Royals. Early in the fourth quarter, Giants still up by 3. 2 times in the Super Bowl, 2 championships. Knows how to help those young players. And certainly did on that last Steeler possession. And gives the Giants the ball at the 47 after the 16-yard punt by Royals. Hampton hit from the side, but Chad Brown gain of a yard or 2, and the Steeler defense has done an excellent job of corralling Hampton. He has only 33 yards, 17 carries, so he's under 2-yard average today.
And you would think at this situation, 13:40 to go, team leads by 3 in the rain, that this is a perfect spot for Rodney Hampton to take over the football game. And Meggett, he's not going to be a factor.
Hampton, patiently running, flag down. Tackle made by Levon Kirkland, and this one apparently is going to come back.
Sure, why not? All the rest of them have. Let's keep it in tune here.
Boy, penalties. I guess maybe it's the weather, huh? Just 6-3. Lots of mistakes. And Mike Ditka was all over that, wasn't he, on NFL Live? He said that, yes, there would be a running game. It's been that, but mistakes would decide.
Holding. Number 62 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. We're going to repeat second down.
62 is Davis. It should be coming right at you. He just grabs a hold of Greg Lloyd. Greg Lloyd does a little twisting. The 62 Davis gets him to the ground. So, I mean, another nice gain, nullified by a penalty.
A little takedown makes it 2nd and 18. Underneath they go to Sherrard. And he's out of bounds at the 48-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 10 as we go to NFL Live in New York.
All right, Dick, in Cleveland, first time around when these two teams met, the Browns scored 2 special teams touchdowns. They get another one here. Lee Johnson's punt blocked by Gerald Dixon. Travis Hill recovers, and the Browns are on top of the Bengals. It's a 20-13 game in the last minute of the third quarter, Dick.
And Testaverde, we see there out with a concussion. Thanks, Greg. Here, no knockout blows. A lot of body punches. 6-3 Giants.
Oh, he's in the game. What are we going to do with him?
Out of the shotgun, 3rd, and call it 8. Intercepted right to Rod Woodson. Woodson didn't have to move for it. Looking for some blockers on this side, and gets a couple. Good piece of running. Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Rod Woodson, his 2nd interception of the year.
Woodson was definitely open. I don't know why he threw it here, but look at this. There's not a Giant within 6 yards of it. Goodness.
And the confidence of Woodson, he could have taken it straight ahead, maybe made 5 or 10, but he saw all this territory and the blockers over here, so he returned it some 20 yards. His 30th career interception.
I'm serious. Look at that. There is barely a Giant in the picture. And you know who made the tackle? Dave Brown.
Neil O'Donnell. To Van Morris. 5. And down goes Morris. Strahan on top and Bailey underneath.
What? No flag?
30 interceptions, and that seems low for a man of his great talent to put on the 75th anniversary team, but they usually don't throw much in his direction.
No, but and the other thing is to look at that group, the active players on that 75th anniversary team. The other thing is Rod Woodson always gets the other team's best receiver. Always. I mean, that is a lot every team that Pittsburgh plays against.
2nd and 5. Loss of a yard. Keith Hamilton, the hammer, invades the backfield and makes the stop.
He's talking to George Henshaw, his position coach who sits upstairs, and George Henshaw's probably helped him this week. He told him, look, you got to weather the storm. He was fine until the last 2 passes he threw. There's George. Both poor choices, Dick. Both resulted in interceptions.
Meanwhile, a very critical play in this game. It's 3rd and 7. In a delicate position on the field for a long field goal. The Steelers would like to gain some yards. Trailing by 3. O'Donnell gets a few yards. And it's going to be close to a first down. As Yancey Thigpen's second effort, he would have been stopped right at that yard stripe at the 25, and by lurching forward has the first down Pittsburgh.
He does a great job here too, Dick. You're going to see him at the top of the screen when O'Donnell starts to move right. Watch, he moves out and back in, makes himself a receiver. O'Donnell makes the completion, and it is the first down, and the drive stays alive.
Thigpen, who originally was drafted by the Chargers 3 years ago. Morris behind blockers.
There you go.
That's what you want. Lower that shoulder. The stop made by Jarvis Williams. Short yardage.
Yeah, you do that in the first quarter and the second quarter, and he's 240, and Jarvis Williams is about 205. The guy with the ball is going to wear the other guy out. That's the idea. Now, this is what a Pittsburgh running back looked like. Lower that shoulder. Like that. Quit that jumping. But that's what those pads are for, pal.
85 yards rushing for the rookie Morris. Incomplete. Squirted through the hands of John L. Williams. He won't miss many.
Yeah. That was a screen, and it looked like Pittsburgh told Giants, we're running the screen, because the Giants were all over that one. And O'Donnell had no outlet receiver. You generally don't on a screen pass, so he had to wait for John L. to open up somewhere.
3rd down and 6. 9 minutes left in the 4th. The ball at its current position, it would be about a 40-yard field goal to tie, but on a very slick field. Oh, there's an interesting call to John L. Williams, and he could go all the way to the 5-yard line. 17-yard play. That's a little wrinkle off the shovel pass.
He ran. That ball was thrown outside the blitzer. Watch the blitzer. 55. See, pushing the back by the receiver Hastings, but it's not called, and the pitch is outside the blitzer, and there's nobody there for support.
And the veteran Williams, University of Florida, where he and Jarvis Williams were teammates.
Now, by the way, when he came to Pittsburgh, they wanted to give him 32. Said, no, that's Franco's number. I don't want that number.
1st and goal at the 6. The deepest drive for Steelers today. Van Morris looking for a block. Gets a touchdown.
Man, there's a bunch of Steeler fans here.
The rookie from Texas Tech's 3rd touchdown rushing this year.
Well, as head coach at Texas Tech, Spike Dykes, probably a little nervous in the first half, but Bam Morris has scored in the second half to make Spike Dykes feel a little better.
Gary Anderson, extra point try. Warriors to hold, and Pittsburgh leads for the first time today. It's 10-6.
Dick, excellent lead blocking here by John L. Williams. Not a pull, a fold block by Kalis, the right guard. Excellent block by John L. Williams there. Bam Morris, high steps, and Dave Brown threw the interception.
And 34 yards later, the Steelers have the lead for the first time.
Immediately.
Steelers lead here 10-6. They've just scored the first touchdown of the game on a 6-yard run by that rookie from Texas Tech, Bam Morrison. We welcome those of you watching the Kansas City-Seattle game. The Chiefs and Joe Montana with a sizable lead. This has been a highly competitive, hard-hitting game, low scoring as Dave Meggett takes the kickoff at the 12 for the Giants. Meggett sidesteps and then darts through a big hole. Boy, he made something out of very little all the way to the 42-yard line. A 29-yard return, and on comes Dave Brown, the quarterback, young quarterback from Duke. Last 2 possessions, he's thrown 2 puzzling interceptions directly to Steeler defenders.
Here is the last touchdown.
The only touchdown.
By the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, the only touchdown. Excellent blocking up front for Bam Morris. But the interception thrown by Dave Brown was directly to Rod Woodson.
That led to that score. To the sidelines to Aaron Pierce. And I believe that's his first catch of the season. Pierce, an H-back from the University of Washington. Brown and Figures make the stop. First 3 games, the Giants win all 3. Brown, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They lost the last 3 and are losing by 4 today, 2-9.
First half, his receivers didn't help him much. Second half, Dave Brown's done it to himself.
2nd and 4. Rodney Hampton has really been stymied by the Steeler defense. It's only a yard there as Ray Seals and Levon Kirkland for the tackle. Brings up 3rd and about 2. Now 1.9 average today for Rodney Hampton, leading rusher for the Giants. They just have stopped him cold. So Meggett comes in. Interesting formation on 3rd and 2. Out of the gun. Incomplete. He's getting low as Carnell Lake had good coverage. Thomas Lewis was the intended receiver.
Excuse me, he didn't throw that one well either. For some reason, he just looks tentative. He didn't want to just follow through. He didn't want to let it. He's trying to aim it. And you can't aim a football like you can't aim a baseball. You just turn it loose. They're right down at his feet.
Only 3 completions in the second half for Dave Brown. So Moran to punt for the 8th time. This is the 15th punt in the game. Rod Woodson, whose interception set up the Steeler touchdown, is at the 10. End over end. Woodson on the run, and he almost fumbled it to the Giants, able to corral it at the 20-yard line. Timeout. 6:46 remain in the 4th. The Steelers trying to move with Cleveland, the AFC Central. The Giants trying to stamp a 3-game losing streak, and when you're trying to do that, sometimes funny things happen.
Yeah.
Giants had a 3-0 or hadn't scored yet. Howard Cross wide open in the end zone. On this play, Cross frees himself. Brown puts it right between the numbers. And juggle, and Lloyd knocks it away, and they settle for a field goal, 3-0. At 3-0, Brown down both knees, but no whistle. Woodson strips him of the ball. The Steelers recovered it on the goal line, and that was another opportunity loss. So that could have been 14 points for the Giants, who now trail 10-6.
And actually, the rest of the game has gone pretty much like those 2 plays. I mean,
fumbles and mistakes on this wet carpet. It's rained throughout the game. No gain on first down for the Steelers. Dan Reeves' young Giant team, perhaps producing more than expected, winning their first 3, and now trying to break out of a 3-game losing streak. Draw play. This has worked all day. Bam Morris. First down at the 32, and the rookie from Texas Tech now has 102 yards rushing today, subbing for the injured Barry Foster.
And if you didn't see the game earlier, this guy started with 2 fumbles in the first half. And Ron Earhart, the offensive coordinator, Bill Cowher, great confidence in it. Come back and give it to him, and now he's over. It's his 22nd carry of the day. Very important for the Steelers offense to have that spot produce yards. Today, Morris has done it.
Bigger and even faster than Foster. He's 6 feet 235. Gets the call again, and nothing there. Foster grew up in Texas, a big admirer of the great Earl Campbell, Houston Oilers, and Morris then broke Campbell's Southwest Conference single-season rushing record. 1,752 yards he rushed for as a senior at Texas Tech, and yet wasn't drafted until the 3rd round.
There's a lot of times that the NFL has cubby holes for these guys. You know, you're just a little too tall or a little too heavy, you don't fit, and that's what happened to Bam Morris.
On 2nd and 10, O'Donnell. Underneath, is it a catch to Yancey Thigpen? Yes, at the 38-yard line, his 3rd catch today.
I still haven't seen any officials say, yes, it's a catch, but they are marking it as a completion. He runs the... that is a catch, there's no question. He runs the slant inside the coverage.
Well, the complete part of the story of this game, you saw the fumble by Brown when he obviously was down, but ruled a fumble. There was also an interception by the Giants in the end zone to deny Pittsburgh. That was a juggle, was not an interception, but was missed. John L. Williams. Good pursuit by the Giants. Carlton Bailey made the tackle, but Jarvis Williams from his safety spot was the one who really messed it up.
And this Giant defense is playing like the Giant defenses of the middle 80s. When you came into Giant Stadium, you knew that whatever you were going to get, it wasn't going to be much.
Boy, Williams took out the blocker and almost made the tackle too, and John Jackson is down for the 2nd time today.
Only this time it doesn't look like cramps in his calves.
Jackson, part of a tradition in Pittsburgh. You think of their great teams and their wonderful defenses, but they always had wonderful lines that could pull and trap. And for Chuck Noll, and in many ways, this line is followed in that tradition.
Absolutely. They don't trap as much, but they pull as much. And they used to have Webster at center and Mansfield at guard. It was a great trapping team, but now the running game has kind of moved outside a little more, Dick.
Yeah, while they attend to Jackson, we want to remind you that next week we have a doubleheader on NBC. Starts with NFL Live at 12:30. Greg and Ahmad and our 2 Super Bowl coaching experts. And then the early game, Bob and I will be up in Rich Stadium, Buffalo. That's a rematch of the AFC Championship game. Joe Montana, remember, he was KO'd in that game against the Bills. And then at 4 o'clock, Miami, New England, Jets, Indianapolis, Cleveland at Denver. The Raiders host Houston, and Seattle, San Diego. So make your plans to be with us for top NFL action here on NBC next Sunday. Jackson off under his own power.
Kind of favoring his right leg, isn't he?
Pittsburgh finally scoring a touchdown, converting an interception by Rod Woodson. Now another punt. Royals' last kick was only 16 yards. This is the 16th punt of the game, as there have been a lot of 3 and outs. In case you're wondering, not even close to the NFL record. 31 punts.
Feels like 31, though.
Bears and Packers, 1933. Now that was a game. Dangerous Dave Meggett for the Giants back at the 15. 10 men on the line of scrimmage for the Giants. Here they come. Good kick. Meggett a fair catch. 25-yard line. Dwight Stone falls on Meggett, but no flag. 35-yard punt with it a timeout. 3:13 left.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now and ask for our football special. When it's got to be good, and it's got to be now, it's got to be Domino's.
So an opportunity for the Giants' young quarterback, Dave Brown. Trailing by 4, enough time. He has all 3 timeouts remaining. And a drive here for a man who's taken some heat in the press in New York during the course of this week. 3 straight losses. He could be forgiven totally if he rallies his team to a victory.
Or he could be on the bench next week.
The Giants have only 3 first downs since the first quarter. Incomplete. He had to throw around Kevin Green trying to reach Aaron Pierce. Here's an update. Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Dick, in Cleveland, the Browns have all but put it away against the Bengals. 2 special teams touchdowns by the Browns in their first meeting this season against Cincinnati. 2 more today. Eric Metcalf returns this one 73 yards for the score. And looks like the Bengals will continue to go winless. The Browns lead it 27-13. Dick?
And the Browns leading the Steelers by 1 game coming into today's play. On 2nd and 10. Blitz. And Brown able to get rid of it and complete the pass. Avoiding the sack and the loss, it gets a couple of yards on the play.
How did Rod Woodson and/or Kevin Green miss Dave Brown? Both come from the right-hand side of the screen. Now, Rodney Hampton picks up Green, but then he also does a good job on Woodson. Nice tip of the cap to Rodney Hampton. He still gets the ball off.
Aaron Pierce.
Amazing.
A couple-yard gain. 3rd and 8. Big play for the Giants. Here's Carnell Lake with a sack as they use the safety blitz. Lake is very good at that. He had 5 sacks last year, and that's the 5th sack today against the Giants.
And the Steelers, for years and years and years, you should see top of the screen is where Carnell Lake comes from. And they just one too many guys. You can't expect a guard to get all the way out there to get a safety and protect the quarterback.
And Rod Woodson was coming on the other side.
On the other side.
So 2:15 left. The punt by Horan. A beauty, the best of the day. Drives it to Woods. Check it. It is the rookie Johnson who's back on the punt return at the 27. A 49-yard punt. So 2:05 left. And the Steelers with a first down just about could burn up the Giant timeouts. Remember, the Solheim Cup conclusion follows the best of the United States against the best female golfers from Europe. It was tied 5-all coming into today, and it's all going to be woman against woman.
Singles matches this afternoon.
That follows our action here from Giant Stadium. Well, Dan Reeves, he's been a winner at Denver. He was a winner as a player with Dallas and as an assistant coach. Rare for him to be in a losing streak. He's lost 3 in a row. Only 2 other times in his head coaching career has he had a 4-game losing streak. Bam Morris breaking into the clear. And finally ridden down by Jesse Campbell out at the 43-yard line. First down, Pittsburgh at the 2-minute timeout. The Giants trailing by 4. 1:58 left. New York has all 3 timeouts. If they can deny the Steelers a first down, they can use their timeouts and get the ball back. Meanwhile, Bam Morris started slowly. 2 fumbles lost in the early going, but building and had a big second quarter and another good quarter this one. Well over the 100-yard mark. He gets the carry and gets at the 45-yard line. And with that, the Giants call their first timeout. 4-game lead for Pittsburgh with the ball.
You got the winning color. mother told me if I'll change my oil, I'll get a lot of miles out of my truck. I use Pennzoil, and I change it every 3,000 miles.
Now with the revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts. Works like liquid ball bearings.
Play Pennzoil's Ticket to Ride game. Scratch, match, and win one of 10 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycles, one of 10 Harley-Davidson leather jackets, or one of 1,000 other prizes. Get game cards where you buy Pennzoil or have your oil changed professionally with Pennzoil.
There'll be a lot to think about this week for Dan Reeves and his team. They made but one first down the entire second half.
Yeah, and last week they had 0 against the Rams. So now we've got a clear pattern that there is some present danger for this Giant offense. That's Jumbo Elliott there. I mean, somehow the Giants have to get Dave Meggett involved in this offense. I think he had 1 carry today. No catches. 1 catch, excuse me, no carries.
On 2nd and 8, Morris has another first down or close to it. He's to the Giant 47-yard line.
And see, Dick, what this has done, this Giant defense has played its young little heart out. But they've played so much in the second half that when they had to stop the Pittsburgh Steelers, they just couldn't. They were just worn flat out.
9-1 first down. So the Steelers, who struggled as well offensively in the first half, got enough going, got a couple of breaks, and Rod Woodson's interception thrown right to him by Dave Brown at the 34-yard line of the Giants. And, well, actually ran it back to the 34, and that led to the only touchdown of the game. Protecting the ball, Bam Morris to the 44.
Last week when the Steelers beat Cincinnati, Bill Keller's first line was, well, it's not Mozart, but we won. Well, he's going to have to find another composer this week.
It's not a Beethoven, but enough music stuck together, huh? The employee owners of Davis salute today's most valuable player, and it is Bam Morris, the rookie from Texas Tech of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the winner of today's We Try Harder Award. Morris rushing for 131 yards, and that was the game's only touchdown. And he had 4 catches for 27 more, so a 148-yard day for Byron Bam Morris. The official rental company of the NFL. Avis salutes today's MVP.
Well, they needed him. And off of his start, I mean, it shows a great deal inside that young man. Faith of Bill Cowher in him.
Averaged 4.9 a carry against the defense, the Giants, that had allowed only 2.9 on the season. 1 timeout left for the Giants. Morris loses a couple there, stays inbounds, and the Giants' final timeout with 52 seconds left. Executive producer of NBC Sports is Tommy Roy, the coordinating producer of NFL football, and the producer of today's game, John Ferratzis. Directed by John Gonzalez. NFL Live produced by Ricky Diamond. Directed by John Gilmartin. Thanks to all the men and women, NBC Sports, in the rain today at Giant Stadium to bring you the color and action of this game. And a reminder, the Solheim Cup to follow the conclusion of this game. It's the women's version of the Ryder Cup, and it's tied going into this final day's play. So follow all the action and drama. Solheim Cup next on NBC.
And I wonder if Beth Daniel will be matched against Laura Davies.
Well, the Steelers 52 seconds away from a 5-2 start this year, and the Giants about to face 3 and 4. Morris. And they bump him out of bounds. That stops the clock. Campbell, but Morris just adding to his total. 20 more yards for the young guy. His brother preceded him into the NFL as a wide receiver with the Chicago Bears, Ron Morris. This young man who grew up idolizing Walter Payton and Earl Campbell, getting his chance, was very disappointed. Remember on draft day, he thought he was a first-round pick, had been told so, and not selected to the third round. It's almost like wondering, well, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, Bill Cowher just ran up to him, and you could read his lips. Congratulations, son. After those 2 fumbles, to come back and rush for, 147 yards, very impressive for that rookie.
Kneel down by O'Donnell. Morris on this final series, 6 plays, carried all 6 until the kneel down by O'Donnell.
Dave Brown told us that this week he was very uncomfortable in preparation for this game. I can't imagine what he's going to feel like next week.
He talks to Phil Simms, he says, almost every week, and Simms tries to give him some sage advice. You know, it's the only team in the league that has all youth at quarterback. They're all 3 years experience or less.
Yes, so he's the one. He's got to perform.
Now, Bill Cowher's Steelers come into Giants Stadium in a game rated even, manage the game's only touchdown in the 4th quarter, and leave with a 10-6 win. We'll be back at Giants Stadium after this.